The British monarchy has long been a subject of fascination for the world, with its regal traditions, centuries-old ceremonies, and royal figures who are constantly under the scrutiny of the media and the public. However, the dynamics of this prestigious family have shifted in recent years, particularly in the way power and influence are distributed among its members. A quiet storm has been brewing beneath the calm surface, and at the center of it all is Queen Camilla, whose once prominent role seems to be quietly fading as Princess Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, emerges as the future face of the monarchy. While the world may be enchanted by Princess Catherine's grace and poise, it is Queen Camilla who has found herself navigating an increasingly delicate position. The public, and even some royal insiders, have noted a growing preference for Princess Catherine's image and presence over that of the Queen Consort. King Charles, too, has increasingly leaned on Catherine for royal duties and public appearances that once defined Camilla's role in the royal family. As the lines between past and future become more defined, Queen Camilla's emotional toll becomes all too evident, one that she must endure behind palace walls. This is more than just a story of a royal family, it's a tale of loyalty, ambition, and the shifting tides of power. What happens when a seasoned consort is replaced by the younger, more relatable figure who embodies the monarchy's modern future? How does Queen Camilla, a woman who has supported King Charles through his darkest hours, navigate this sudden transformation of her royal life? A grand state dinner in London was meant to celebrate the unity of the monarchy, but for those who were watching closely, it told a much different story. The guest list was filled with distinguished diplomats and royals from around the world, but it was the seating arrangement that captured the most attention. In the past, such events always saw King Charles and Queen Camilla side by side, symbols of stability and royal unity. But this time, something was noticeably different. Princess Catherine, radiant in her royal attire, was seated next to King Charles, her elegance the focal point of the evening. Queen Camilla, once at the heart of such grand occasions, found herself placed a few steps away from her husband. The message was clear: Princess Catherine was being positioned as the future of the monarchy, while Camilla's role seemed more symbolic than active. The media were quick to pick up on the subtle shift, and it wasn't long before the speculation began. Was this a quiet act of preference for the younger royal? Had Camilla, the Queen Consort, been quietly sidelined in favor of her daughter-in-law? The public's reaction was mixed, but for Camilla, this was an internal heartbreak, a reminder that her time in the spotlight was perhaps no longer as significant as it once had been. Princess Catherine has long been adored by the British public, with her charm, grace, and commitment to royal duties earning her widespread admiration. However, as King Charles's decisions to delegate more responsibilities to Catherine continue to grow, the Queen Consort is finding herself increasingly out of the spotlight. At a recent royal event celebrating a charitable cause close to the royal family's heart, Princess Catherine took center stage, leading the event alongside King Charles, while Queen Camilla participated only as a secondary figure. This was more than a mere shift in who was handling a particular engagement, it was a stark public statement. King Charles, whether intentionally or not, seemed to favor Catherine's approachable image over Camilla's established yet somewhat distant persona. As the crowds applauded the Duchess of Cambridge, Queen Camilla's disappointment was evident, though she remained poised, her eyes betraying nothing more than quiet reflection. She had, after all, worked tirelessly for years to secure her place within the royal family and to solidify her role as queen. Yet now, the role she had fought so hard to build was being overshadowed by a younger, more modern figure who had become a symbol of the monarchy's evolving future. Official portraits have always been a powerful tool in shaping royal narratives, carefully curated to project unity and continuity. However, the release of a recent portrait of King Charles alongside Princess Catherine sparked a wave of public speculation. The image, which was meant to commemorate a key royal event, showed the King and Princess Catherine standing together, smiling, with Queen Camilla nowhere in sight. Though it was likely an innocent decision made in the spirit of the moment, the optics were undeniable. The portrait, which would be displayed across the world, seemed to subtly signal that the future of the monarchy was no longer resting solely in Camilla's hands, but in the capable ones of Princess Catherine. The absence of Queen Camilla from such a significant representation of the royal family felt like an unspoken message, a reminder that her time as the central figure in royal affairs was being pushed further into the background. For Camilla, this was another emotional blow, one that could not be ignored. As a woman who had spent years working to gain acceptance within the royal family, her exclusion from such a public image felt like the culmination of a shift in the royal family's priorities. The future belonged to Catherine, and the Queen Consort's role was now, seemingly, a quiet reflection of her earlier struggles. The royal family has long been associated with charity work and public service. In the past, Queen Camilla had taken on the responsibility of representing the monarchy in charitable endeavors, building relationships with organizations and supporting causes close to her heart. But recently, there has been a noticeable shift. Princess Catherine has taken on more of these responsibilities, with King Charles actively encouraging her involvement in royal charity events. At a high-profile charity gala, the Duchess of Cambridge stepped into the spotlight, dazzling the crowd with her grace and eloquence. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla appeared at a separate, less publicized event for the same cause, quietly fulfilling her duties but clearly not the focus of the evening. The message could not have been clearer. Princess Catherine was taking on the mantle of royal patronage, while Camilla was left to play a secondary role. It wasn't just about charity, it was about the future of the monarchy, and in this narrative, Queen Camilla's presence was becoming less essential. Behind closed doors, where decisions about the monarchy's future are made, King Charles has been seen confiding more in Princess Catherine than in his wife, Queen Camilla. Royal insiders have shared that private meetings between the King and the Duchess of Cambridge have become more frequent, focused on the future direction of the royal family and the modernization of its image. For Camilla, these private talks must have felt like a direct blow. She had once been at the heart of royal strategy and planning, working alongside King Charles to navigate the intricacies of the monarchy's responsibilities. Now, she found herself sidelined in favor of the younger generation. While King Charles was busy planning for the future with Princess Catherine, Queen Camilla, though still by his side, was left to navigate the changing tides of royal life in silence. In the world of modern monarchy, public perception is everything. The media's portrayal of royal figures plays a significant role in shaping how the world views them, and recently, Princess Catherine has been the subject of widespread media attention. Her every move is analyzed, her style admired, and her grace celebrated by both the public and the press. For Queen Camilla, the growing media spotlight on Princess Catherine has been another reminder of her diminishing role. Where she once stood as a central figure in the royal narrative, Camilla now finds herself in the background, overshadowed by the younger, more modern Princess of Wales. In a particularly telling moment, Queen Camilla was asked to hand over one of her royal patronages to Princess Catherine. This was more than a ceremonial gesture, it was a symbolic acknowledgement of the changing of the guard. Princess Catherine was being positioned as the future of the monarchy, and Queen Camilla, despite her many years of service, was now being asked to make way for the next generation. While Queen Camilla accepted the transfer with her characteristic grace, there was no denying the weight of the moment. It marked the end of an era, one in which Camilla's presence was central to royal duties, and the beginning of a new era, one in which Princess Catherine would take center stage. The silent strength of Queen Camilla, a story of loyalty, loss, and legacy. Queen Camilla may not be the shining star of the royal family's future, but her role in the monarchy is far from over. Despite the growing influence of Princess Catherine and the shift in public perception, Camilla remains a steadfast support for King Charles. Her emotional resilience, though often quiet, speaks volumes about her dedication to the crown and her family. As King Charles and Princess Catherine navigate the delicate balance of tradition and modernity, Queen Camilla remains a constant, a quiet, powerful figure whose loyalty to the monarchy is unwavering. The future may belong to Catherine, but Camilla's legacy, though changing, will always be etched in the history of the royal family.